Hi, and welcome to the Quick and Dirty Romance Podcast. We're your hosts, romance authors and bicoastal best friends. I'm Skye McDonald, author of the Connecticut Commodore's steamy hockey romance series.
And I'm Sarah Smith, author of the Denver Bashers Steamy Hockey Romance series.
And together we write as Sarah Skye, the best-selling duo behind the Unlikely Pairing series. We write hot books about complicated feelings, emotional risk, and really good sex.
Each episode, we pull back the curtain on what it's actually like to be contemporary romance authors. We talk writing desire, building tension, navigating publishing, and exactly how those infamous sex scenes come together on the page.
It's smart, honest, a little filthy, and wrapped up in 30 minutes or less. We respect your time, but we aim to leave you breathless.
So before we get started, please take a second to tap those stars wherever you're listening. Ratings help more romance readers find us and trust us. We notice every single one.
Okay. Brace yourselves, listeners. We're starting with some strong, nay, I say, fighting words today. Valentine's Day is a scam.
Skye, how dare you? How dare you
Oh,
say that?
okay. To clarify, love isn't the scam. The marketing of love is what I think we might take issue with here. So let's get in. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so I think the crux of this is just us talking about why maybe readers feel disconnected from the holiday of Valentine's Day
Hmm.
and why romance stories hit deeper because of that.
Hmm.
So, okay, Skye, do you want to express your personal feelings about Valentine's Day? Do you feel comfortable doing
I
that?
do, because I feel secure in our friendship that I will not offend you. And
No.
so, no, I neither hate nor love Valentine's Day. It's amusing to get flowers if you do, and if you don't, it's totally fine to either hang out with your favorite fur baby or I don't know, like nothing. It's not what I would call a holiday, more like an observance.
Yeah.
But, the problem that I think we do have, and well, I would say I do have with marketing of it, and a lot that you see is the idea that real love should be just like obvious, effortless, but also dramatic, right? Like your best friend, your perfect lover, your white knight, you're also dark daddy, like whatever, all of the things all at once, right? And it gets reinforced by both the social media, as always, this idea of like the perfect love, everybody's got the perfect love, and that's what we depict. No messiness. And then also advertisements and honestly, the stereotypes of romance novels themselves, although I would say that that is not actually the content of most romance novels. So I think overall it leaves people feeling like either behind or unchosen or like their love is messy or complicated while everybody else is having this like the one kind of relationship. So I think that that's where the myth gets kind of icky, because it just sells this idea like so many other things that this is what is perfect, right? This defines love when you really can't define it universally, I don't think.
Yeah, I definitely get that. I think I can definitely see how that rubs people the wrong way, especially like you said when there's expectations attached to something like a holiday.
Hmm.
Not like a it's not a government or federal holiday. Not like Flag Day or something. I think Valentine's Day is fun to celebrate. I've always really liked it, and I think it stems from, and I know not everybody had this experience, but like me as a little kid growing up um I grew up in California and Nebraska, and every Valentine's Day, and I really don't know if kids do this anymore because I don't have kids, and um, I should probably ask my friends with kids, but like you would always get a list of names of your classmates, and everybody had to go either buy or make their own little Valentine's cards, and you had to do them for everybody. You couldn't just do them for somebody, or for only one person or your friends or whatever. You had to do them for everybody, and you had to bring or maybe you didn't have to. I feel like somebody brought treats. It was just like a fun thing. And then like part of the day on Valentine's Day, if it was on a school day, was everybody got a little cute little Valentine. It wasn't romantic because we were like 6, you know, it was just like a friendly did thing you did because, you know, like you're sweet kids and like you're it was just fun, right? Like it was
It
just
was
a
fun.
thoughtful thing to do. Um, for little kids. And I just always really loved that. I loved that part of it. It was just a fun activity. It was rooted in kindness and thoughtfulness. You did it for everybody. You didn't leave anyone out. And there's something just really pure and sweet about that. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a wonderful thing to instill in people at a young age. And I think obviously as we get older, we started to like learn like, oh, okay, Valentine's Day is like romantic. Well, that's not necessarily what it has to be when you're older. I think it can still be that like sweet, just loving gesture you can express to anyone. I've always tried to do that to people in my life. Not in like a weird creepy way. I'm not sending like 1,000 roses to Skye on
Only that
Valentine's.
one time.
Yeah, only the one time. Okay. And I thought it was a very sweet gesture.
I loved it. I swooned.
Did you? Okay. But like I've done like I used to send Valentines to my mom when she was alive. And like I used to do stuff for my sister. You know, I didn't do it for my brothers because they didn't care. And obviously like I'm not gonna like force it on people who genuinely don't want to do something. I would never do that, but they didn't care,
Sure.
so I didn't do that. But like it's just like, and obviously I'm not, I don't have romantic relationships with my mom and my sister, but it wasn't just about the romance, right? Like it was
Right.
about a thoughtful gesture you can do to show kindness and love. Love isn't just romantic, even though we're writers, and I love romance and steam and all that fun stuff. It's just that's what I like about it. And so I kind of like get annoyed when people get a little pissy about when they get like ridiculous. Like if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. I don't care. But like some people just go on a tirade. I'm like, you know what? Why don't you calm down? Buy
Yeah.
heart-shaped chocolate and chill out. Like
Choke
I don't.
on it or
Yeah.
chill out. Either one. Well, and it's the same, I mean, actually, I'm running the risk of just veering us into a whole subtopic here, but like it's the same hate that romance novels get. It's the same hate that romance gets, right? Like
Yeah.
it's this idea of like, oh, that's just fluff, or oh, like no, it's love,
Mhm.
right? And even as you said, like, yes, we write steamy romance. Yes, we do. But I write always have a huge cast of supporting characters. And I know you do the same. Like, I know that, connections to parents, especially a mother, is important and a theme that occurs in your books a lot. So, our books are about love in a lot of ways, right?
Mhm.
So I definitely think I don't like hearing how stupid it is or how, it's just goofy or anything like that. In the same way, I don't like hearing that romance stories are not legitimate or that aren't serious, right? Like, why are we so afraid of love? Why does it make us feel so uncomfortable?
Mhm.
But that's a whole other episode, so maybe we'll just shelf that for March, when
Or
we're
a
feeling
therapy.
tired of the cold weather. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but it's funny because I can see the naysayers' argument around how Valentine's Day can feel hollow because it's a marketing tool. It really is like a marketing it was, when people say like, oh, it was just designed by the candy and card companies to sell more product. Well, maybe. I don't actually know. I should have looked up the history of Valentine's Day, but like, yes, it is highly commercial, as are literally all holidays.
Yeah.
So, that's true. And the performative nature of it, like you're going to be in trouble if you don't buy your loved one a this, or this, right? And I think that's where it gets kind of messy. So what you're talking about is like spreading love and spreading like messages of love. But I think people get so busy and so just like over it that it's like, well, I didn't make a dinner reservation, so I'm screwed.
Right. And
Um,
it's
and
like not, that shouldn't be the end all be all, I
no,
think. Like it's
no.
dependent on you as a person. If you what you want to do. If you're in a relationship, figure out what your partner wants to do. If both of you don't care, you don't have to do anything. It's not that big of a deal. But if one of you does care or both of you cares, I think you should go put in the effort to do something special for them. It doesn't have to be something like you don't need to go buy them like a luxury car with a big bow on
Oh,
it.
the bow on it. Oh,
Right? It doesn't have to be something out of control. Like I think that's what people get. Part of I think is that what bothers people is that I think they think like, oh, it has to be this, like you said, this big grand gesture. It
hmm
has to be It doesn't have to be, it can be whatever you want. It can be as
yeah,
big or as small as you want it. I just like, there's just a part of me that like, I don't know. Some people just love to hate stuff,
they
including
do.
Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like, I don't think that I'm like a ball of sunshine running around like, I love everything and everything's awesome and everything's here. I don't think I'm like that. I think I'm a realistic person. I think I have a good grip on reality. I think I understand how the world works. But I also don't feel like it's necessary to just be, I don't know, like a downer and hate on things that you personally don't care, or try to make it mean less because you don't like
Yeah.
it, even though it's special to other people. I think that's really crappy.
But it's the same way, I was thinking about a lot of things as you said that, and I was thinking about my younger self.
Mhm.
And so the man I dated in college and ultimately would go on to marry, early in our relationship, the way we celebrated Valentine's Day, I mean, we would probably go to dinner or whatever, but like we were kids, like we were in college, we didn't have a lot of money. I would always buy him like a toy, not that kind of toy, like a Lego, not the like $500 Lego. Like this
Yeah,
was a long
like
time ago.
right.
Right, like a little bucket of Legos or
Yeah.
an Etch-a-Sketch. Like one year I bought him an Etch-a-Sketch. And it was really fun because it was just like entirely whimsical and like it was something he could like play with, but it wasn't like high stakes. And he would buy me like a bear, like a stuffed bear or
Oh,
something, you know? It was
cute.
cute. It was really cute,
Yeah.
but it was so low key, but it was really like unique, you know? And then I
Well, it was
remember one year,
personal to you guys,
right,
right? It wasn't some
right.
like
And it never meant
business.
like Valentine's Day was never a big deal for us. But like I do remember one year he didn't get me anything, not a flower, not a dinner, not anything. And I will say I was not happy about that because
Yeah.
it was like we had been together for years and it was like, really?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Because it was,
it
sorry, as an outsider, that seems very like unthoughtful, right? Like
it
it
was
wasn't
weird.
about,
Yeah,
it
it was
wasn't about like,
unusual,
yeah.
right? But like the thing that I actually took from that, which is the point I was like thinking as you were saying that, is couples can celebrate Valentine's Day or singles can, like everybody can celebrate Valentine's Day if they want to, but be very clear about what you actually, what this means to you, right? So like if you are a flowers and chocolates girly or dude,
Yeah.
either way, tell
Mhm.
your partner that because if you're like, oh yeah, Valentine's Day is just silly, and then they believe that and they don't get you anything, then that's actually on you.
Of course. Yeah.
So like I think setting expectations and just communicating with the person with whom you're celebrating, whether that be a galentine or a lover, is really important because playing it off like it doesn't matter is probably going to end up disappointing you. Um, but it just all goes into this perfect tied off with a bow romance idea that, if you're not with a person that is your one or you're like or if you're single, if you've been single a long time, right? Like this day can be difficult because it calls into like sharp relief the fact that you do not have a Valentine, right? And then it's also on the heels of the holidays, which, New Year's, it seems like one hit after another, this idea that you're supposed to be coupled and you're supposed to be partnered. And everyone, I think, wants to feel safe and wants to feel seen. So that days like this can and the way that it is marketed unfortunately makes it feel um exclusionary in a way, I think.
Yeah.
And I think to your point and your philosophy on Valentine's and the way that you like to celebrate it, like there's absolutely a way where it doesn't need to be that way, but when we say scam, we're really talking about this idea that it is for lovers, right? It's for children, it's for best friends, it's for family,
It can
right?
be
It's
for
for
strangers too. Like you can
right.
like I knew somebody who she would like volunteer at a soup kitchen. This was like a long time
Nice.
ago, like in college or like at like a homeless shelter
Hmm.
or like an outreach type of thing. And not like she wouldn't, it wasn't like a Valentine's Day themed thing. It was just something she did
Hmm.
because she wanted to just do something for a kind thing for other people. Like I thought that was amazing. And that
Oh,
obviously
thanks.
wasn't romantic at all, but that's like what a wonderful way to like do something good in the world on a day when people can be a little bit grouchy and ridiculous, or materialistic or like
Yeah,
negative or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be like that. You can make it into something one. You can make almost anything into something wonderful if you have the energy.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Go help at like a animal shelter.
Right.
You
Yeah.
think those
Yeah.
animals want love so bad?
Yeah. And they deserve, that's
Uh,
a wonderful thing to do. Yeah. Or like sometimes, like, and you don't have to do this if you hate your coworkers, but you can like, I don't know, bring cookie. It doesn't have to be
yeah.
like do some, it doesn't have to be this like, you know what, I just feel like a lot of people react negatively to it. And it's and to an extent fair because the way that it is marketed in a lot of ways commercially is exclusionary and it makes you feel like you're not good enough if you don't have what everyone says you should have, quote unquote. But it doesn't have to be like that. You can do lots of wonderful things.
So how do romance novels work where this holiday fails?
So I think, okay, so I've written about Valentine's Day a few times in my in my not in every book, but in a few books I have had Valentine's Day celebrations. None of them were like over the top, like, oh, and he bought her a private plane, like nothing crazy, nothing. It's usually what happens is she is coming out of a situation where she wasn't treated very well by her previous partner or by past partners. So the love interest, the guy, he does something to make her feel thought of
Hmm.
and celebrated. But it depends on what it is for her because it's
Hmm.
around what she wants and what her interests are. Um, and really, I think why it works is because something like that, a gesture like that, because I really feel like the actual gesture is pretty irrelevant because it depends on the character and what they
Hmm.
want and need. But the reason why it works, I think, is because it's rooted in honesty and sincerity. It's
Hmm.
not like some superficial way that he's trying to like get into her pants. He genuinely is trying to make her feel happy and cherished. And I think that's why it works in romance. In my romance, I guess. I don't know what other people do, but
Well, dare I say that whether Valentine's Day is featured or not, because what I'm hearing is that you use that as a moment for the male main character to have noticed
Mhm.
and effort like is put in custom to the woman. So, what I really think that romance gets a credit for around the idea of romantic love, kind of narrowing it down, because like I said, we could talk about the side characters and the best friends, but we'll stay on romantic love, is the idea of like a practice as opposed to like an empty gesture, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where Valentine's Day really has become a bit of a scam. If it's done unthoughtfully, it's like, here are your flowers, or like, here's the chocolate. And like, did you even think, like, does this person want chocolate? Are they keto? Like, like, um, do they like having cut flowers in their house? Like, it's the perfunctory, it's a, yeah, perfunctory like nature of like, I got you a thing that I think really makes Valentine's Day kind of to some people because, but whereas in romance, you're really talking about a character or two characters who are understanding each other and who are working to make someone feel seen,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I would say that another pitfall, another scam element of Valentine's Day, if we want to be salacious, is that if you don't do a thing, you haven't shown that you love somebody, right? And I think that it goes back to like all the different ways, but like I think that the myth of Valentine's Day is that that is the thing you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get somebody a present, right? And in romance, we see people truly understanding each other, and we see people like doing these things because they know somebody's been hurt, or doing these things because they know they can't live without this person, whatever it is, right? So it's really about like accountability and thoughtfulness as opposed to the like, well, we've been married 30 years, so here's your flowers, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I really think that that shift from or from proof or from like gesture to practice is why readers really can hook into romance, whereas Valentine's Day very often for the same population can feel empty or hollow, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's really just what we've gone on about quite a bit is that like we're trying to both convey a fantasy but also give something that feels real and that feels like something that people are seeking, you know?
Yeah. And I honestly think that's why romance books resonate with so many people. I think no matter how silly a trope might come off or unrealistic, I think there is a part of it that always feels sincere. And that's what I think readers want. I think they want the story to feel real to them.
Hmm.
And I mean, like if you're reading romance in the first place, that's what you want anyway. I guess if you gave this to somebody who hates romance, then they wouldn't feel the same way. But like I think that's why it does so well because there's a sincerity and a genuineness in
Hmm.
romance that I think makes readers feel seen. And and I think that's a relatable feeling. I think a lot of people want to feel appreciated and loved, even if it's through a character who doesn't exist. I mean, that's
Yeah,
still a positive feeling to get out of it.
for sure. I absolutely think so. And I think like, you know, choosing stories that model like a sustainable love, like that's something that it doesn't really matter what the setting is or what the characters are doing. I, I have a hard time getting into romance stories where I don't buy that these people are actually in love,
Mhm.
you know? And so like it is those little gestures, it's that little those little moments where they see each other or where they understand each other that I think really build a story that is very compelling to me. Um, so thinking about as we move towards Valentine's Day, the idea of what kind of love stories you're really in for, and that includes both in what you read and in what you do. So if the love story of your life is you and your cat, or you and your dog, or you and your best friend, then that is absolutely a beautiful thing. And it should be celebrated and honored, not with some sort of knickknack, but something that really means something, right? And a knickknack can mean something, but don't worry about the performance. Go for the proof, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe read romance as a resistance to like hollow myths and that social media pressure to make everything like sparkly filtered and perfect, right? Perfect life, perfect romance, perfect. Like, no, we all know that everything is messy and unique and has our own thumbprints on it. So as you read your romance, find the ones that you like, and hopefully they're written by Sarah Smith and Skye McDonald, right?
Yes. I have a quick question for you. So I just thought of this. What is your most favorite Valentine's gift you've ever gotten? Just
This
out
is
of
hard for me
yeah, yeah.
because I haven't gotten a lot of like uniquely Valentine's gifts because my birthday is 2 days before.
Right. Yeah.
So it tends to be like I think about that. Probably being scuba diving in Belize, though. If I
That's a good one.
that was a good one. That was a good one, but it was kind of a V-Day birthday. You know,
Yeah.
um, that was pretty great. I got a custom made pillow once. You actually sent me a custom made pillow, but I don't think it was for Valentine's Day.
No, yeah, it was not for Valentine. I wasn't trying to woo you.
It's
This is
okay. You know, I've already been won over, Sarah. It's
yeah.
okay. Um, Yeah, the custom pillow was also pretty awesome. It was like an inside like message from my
Oh,
Valentine to me, so that was really
oh,
nice.
cute. That's really
Yeah,
cute. Yeah.
yeah. And then I appreciate all the care packages my mother has ever sent, full of Valentine's Day knickknacks.
That's really sweet. I think
What
that's
about
really
you?
okay. So I'm such a basic bitch. Like I am 100% the girl that you buy 2 dozen roses for, and I'm
Yep.
happy. I'll do whatever you want. Um, but but I also so my last year my little nephews drew me like a sweet little Valentine's Day card, and that like I still have it. Like it's on my fridge.
Yeah.
It was so precious. Like stuff like that. Just
Yes.
God, it was so cute. Even though,
Yes.
like, obviously that's not anything anyone bought for me, but my
No,
sister-in-law
that's priceless.
told it to me, and I'm like, oh my God, that is the sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. It was so
Yes.
cute. Yeah. Just
It's
precious.
beautiful. I love
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
love that. And I love that you're a Valentine's Day fan. It makes me remember how lovely what the underlying theme is. And I think that's a
Yeah.
great thing. I
Love.
think it's a great thing. Yeah, love. Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing. It's very good. And this has been good for me. Was it good for you, Sarah?
Hell yeah. It was good for me.
Excellent. If you love this episode, take a second to rate and review the podcast wherever you're listening.
And yes, it helps more romance lovers find us, and we really, really appreciate it.
Okay, so until next time, buy yourself flowers if you need to, but really just go to a soup kitchen, go to like I really like where we went with that, the animal shelter, something. Go for that, or just go buy yourself flowers. Appreciate love in all its forms. Hi, everybody.
Bye.